Hello everyone, you're watching PokerNews.com and welcome back to our coverage at the end of the European Poker Tour's entire run here. We are in Prague. I'm with Danny Tang. Haven't caught up with you since Barcelona, so we decided to, get one last EPT interview in the bag. Now you won a 1K, you shipped a 1K yesterday, which congratulations. You sent me a tweet with 70 left and said, yeah, probably after I ship this one we can do an interview, and did it like a boss. So what I wanted to talk to you about is if you could talk about some of the things that you use to, specific traits and characteristics and different elements that you use to determine whether someone is either a tight or aggressive player. Bang it out for me. Give me all the things people can look for.
When we get on a table, we try to how do you explain this? You sort of observe what's going on, how many hands they're playing. Are they talking a lot? Some of the players are just headphones in and you shuffling the chips. You can kind of tell they're a regular, ready to go. And players who's opening a lot, they're aggressive players. And live tells as well, people who's always on the phone, not really focused, or during the on the flop they just don't look interested already. We can tell from tells like that. So, I tend to try to be the table captain as often as I can, but sometimes, in these bigger tours, you just can't, just because there's so many good players, the Germans and Russians are super aggressive. You just sometimes have to play tighter ranges and better hands.
Well, how frequently do you find that the tells and signs that you're giving to people are wrong? Does that ever happen?
Myself, I can't resist to shuffle chips. I have to play with the chips. I think I've tried it in Macau before, where I just sit there, all my chips all over the place, and just sit there and didn't say a word.
Yeah, I could see why that could work sometimes.
Hopefully, trying to give away the information that I'm not a regular. But after a few hands, the regulars on the table will know you're probably a regular by taking the lines that you take as a poker player. But yeah, I think live tells is very important. I'm friends with Wilco Suva as well and Charlie Caro. They both talk a lot on the tables, and I think it works wonders. I always Wilco Suva is always haters gonna hate. I always have a laugh with him, troll with him. But yeah, I think it works wonders, honestly.
Okay, so could you give me then, just say for this video is for more our beginner fans, and let's just say that I'm a beginner. What would be an example of, say, a line that a much more amateur, probably tighter player would take versus a line that a more experienced player would take and that other experienced players would recognize?
It's hard to say, but as a regular, these days there's so many different lines you can take, and we can't exactly say which one's profitable, which one's non-profitable. It still works. You just got to mix it up different dynamics against different opponents, but you tend to don't really see, especially full ring, you don't really see regulars limping, especially in early positions, whereas amateurs would, maybe limp call or limp fold. That's definitely a leak that an amateur would make a lot in a tournament.
And do you find, say, for example, I remember about 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, when the shift sort of went from standard betting 3x BB to 2.5 to when min raising became more common, less and less. So do you find that even in terms of bet sizing, that it's quite clear who's sort of in the know with maybe what's on the trend?
Definitely. I played a turbo maybe 2 days ago. In a turbo where the stacks are short already, someone's open 10x. So blinds 100,
get it, girl.
150, 300, he makes it 3K, and then someone goes all in for 9K and he folds. I'm just sitting there okay, yeah, he's I don't want to label it. I want your money, bro. I don't want to label it, but yeah, that's what he is.
We're just gonna do. Okay, great. Well, we so appreciate. Can we plan on seeing you at the PCA?
Probably not the PCA. I think I'll be at the Macau Poker Championships though. There's Aussie Million next year and then Poker Championship in Macau.
Sounds like a nice schedule. We will look forward to catching up with more of you. Of course, again, congratulations on the 1K yesterday. Danny Tang, I'm Sarah Herring. You're with us on PokerNews.com.